All right, guys, welcome back. Today we're diving deep. We're going to analyze jargons, idioms, phrasal verbs, slangs, advanced vocabulary. Before we continue, guys, I just wanted to let you know that last time when I tried to analyze and comment on the comedy show, YouTube flagged it under a copyright claim. I tried to, dispute it. Dispute was rejected or got rejected. I appealed it. As you can see here in front of you, the appeal was rejected and my account got a strike. So, although that's a gray area, it's an educational content. For some reason, we don't want to risk it. So I made sure that I give you guys the best compendium summary of all the words and jargons that you need to know from this show. Okay, 80% of what I wrote down, so those are the words. I was watching the show, writing down, taking notes. 80% were new or something that I wanted to also incorporate in my daily speech. 20% I knew, like for example, compartmentalizing and simple stuff, but I thought like touche, I know touche, Gen Z, but I thought maybe that would be useful for you. This is not some copy paste shit. As you can see, I have taken extensive notes and tried with AI to come up with full explanation so you guys understand American culture, American jokes, the phrasal verbs, and all of that. So number one, as she came down to the stage, she said, I came down like I'm a fucking Jonas brother. So what she meant is, for those who don't know, I didn't know myself. So Jonas Brothers are a famous American pop rock band, three brothers who became global stars in the late 2000s, right? It's like going down the ring like Undertaker from WWE. So, yeah, she used the mechanism to come up with a floor. So that was her idea, right? She was walking like Conor McGregor. And so she came up with this idea to come up from the floor at the beginning of the show and immediately regretted the embarrassing spectacle, noticing she came up like a Jonas brother, just, humbling herself down a little. Next, we can probably scrap it. Scrap it means a modified suggestion to eliminate or cancel the stage entrance. As you can see behind her back, there are those luminescent stairs. So she was like, maybe we could scrap it. Like, you scrap something of the service. Maybe you could scrap it. Embarrassed by the entrance, Taylor suggested that they just scrap it. But they responded that it was too late to change, as men with jobs had spent of weeks of their lives building it. And when you actually guys get to see the full comedy show, you will be able to understand, and that's such a beautiful feeling, a sensation. When you're able to just enjoy the show and you have no question marks. What was that? What did she mean by this? Who was this person? You understand it all, just like the audience. Next thing she says is a kid at an arcade. So I was wondering, like, what is a kid at an arcade? So a kid at an arcade basically means a child in this wonderland of games, but they have no coins. They have no quarters to participate in a game. The context was that her married friends could not be on a dating app. She could be. And so they were watching her and telling her to swipe right and left as they were. So she gave an analogy that they are like a kid in an arcade, just watching others how they play. But I have the high score. So high score is a claim of having already achieved the ultimate success or having won the greater game, i.e. marriage, right? In dating, the highest score in dating is getting married. So the context is, this is the married friends' hypothetical response when asked if they want to try the dating apps. They state that they already have the highest score. So if you're married and someone says, would you have a dating app? You'd say, I have the highest score, meaning that in dating, you already got the epitome of, what it could lead to. Implying they have no need to play, so they watch their single friends struggle instead. I mean, I wouldn't say struggle, but yeah. Then she talks about her friend, Samantha, that is always in danger. So she said this guy pulled her back into the back alley. I was like, what is back alley? So a back alley, apparently, also called an alleyway, means a narrow hidden passageway behind buildings, usually away from public view, often used for deliveries, trash bins, or shady activities. Context. Yeah, so like she was being dragged to the back alley and robbed or whatever. So streets of New York, but also could be in any states, in any country or city. The next one is my Hogwarts letters. I was thinking like Hogwarts. Not everyone watched Harry Potter, right? And so Hogwarts letter mean basically a reference to the fictional acceptance letter to the magical school, symbolizing the expected arrival of a great destiny or inherent worth. So she said she was an ugly child. She believed that since she wasn't symmetrical, she must have a great, awesome personality that would surely reveal itself in a day now, coming along with her period and my like Hogwater. So Hogwarts letter, being accepted to some magical, uh, you know, great destiny, um, some magic to have in life. So yeah, Hogwarts. Anything with Hogwarts is like magic, Harry Potter stuff. All right, had braces. So she had braces. So I think the image is self-explanatory, an expensive dental procedure that is now completed. As I was watching the comedy show, she was like, Jake from State Farm was there. I was like, I know what State Farm is, like an insurance company, but like, who is Jake? And so now it's a pop culture reference. It comes from a hugely famous insurance commercial in the US by State Farm Insurance. Apparently, it's just like maybe a commercial, an advertisement, or a famous video in the US. And so that's what she meant. Fat chance versus slim chance. They sound opposite, guys, but they mean exactly the same thing. It's an idiom and it means no way, not a chance, almost no chance, or very unlikely. Right? So, for example, it's like it's a slim chance I get laid. It's a fat chance I fail. Blah blah. Papa Wheelie on his motorbike. Papa Wheelie, you can intuitively understand what it means, right? But it's better to elaborate and explain this. So, meaning lifting the front wheel of a motorcycle off the ground while riding, usually as a trick to show off move. Papa Wheelie on his motorbike. The smugness of those who. So, smugness is self satisfied or superior attitude of a specific group, so happy they did something like smug. So let me explain the context. So Toller expresses hatred for this attitude, specifically directed at the people in the audience who raised their hands to indicate they have never been on dating apps, referring to the smugness of those who avoided the experience. So like, yeah, many of them are like, yeah, we're better off than those who struggle on dating apps. Like, I'm feeling better. Stuff like that. Smugness of those. Haley Joel Osment. So, a child actor famous for his role in The Sixth Sense, who sees dead people. So, she talks about going to dates, not liking the date, and looking at the date, knowing that they are dead, knowing that she will ghost them, knowing that she will leave them, describing and comparing herself to Haley Joel Osment. Nearsighted one, or myopia. What does it mean? It's when people can only see close objects but cannot see faraway objects. So nearsighted one refers to a person who is nearsighted, meaning they can only see things clearly up close, but distant objects appear blurry. What was the context? Taylor defines a dating app not as a blind date, but as a nearsighted one. Because while photos exist, they don't provide true essence of reality, right? So it's like a nearsighted experience. It's not a blind date, and it's not a 100%. Yeah. Trench coat. This is a trench coat. Self-explanatory. Laser tag. So laser tag is a game or recreational activity. Recreational activity means leisure, fun time activity where players use toy guns that shoot infrared beams to tag sensors on opponent's vest. So basically, you can Google it, YouTube it, and you can see how it's done. But basically, it's just a laser tag game. So she was giving this as a context. She listed this as one of the cliches, boring date ideas. Alongside bowling or mini golf that Taylor finds online. Uh, so alongside bowling or mini golf that Taylor finds online for second dates, she notes that these activities are used by church youth groups when they're trying to avoid touching each other. Green rooms, backstage waiting areas for performers. So this is when people relax before they get to the stage, or maybe as they wait for their another. So talking shop, meaning discussing work-related topics, especially with someone who's in the same profession, often when you're outside of work. Talking shop, like talking about stuff that you are deeply enthusiastic or discussing work stuff, not in a surface level, but on a deep, real professional level. Talking shop about road encounters. Having a serious insider style discussion about an intercourse on the road as if it were a professional matter. Making fun of it. Barnes and Noble. Barnes and Noble. So it's just a bookstore. Claw machine. This is a claw machine. An arcade game where players control mechanical claw in an attempt to grab a prize. Claw machine. Claw. Get a quilt, find a field, meaning a suggestion to disconnect from technology, seeking tranquility. POS is an acronym for piece of shit. I love to third wheel with. Third wheel is you willingly accompany a couple on an outing, taking the role of a non-essential third party. So you have a couple, right? And then you are number three. I love to third wheel with. Third wheel. Let's just table it till later. It's a business expression or phrase that is used to suggest postponing a discussion or decision until a future time. Let's just table it till later. You can use it, guys. Let's just table it till later. Cut me some slack is a super common idiom in America or in American English to be more lenient or forgiving to ease up on criticism. So it's like, I mean, I didn't sleep all night yesterday, so you can cut me some slack. It's like you can excuse me for that, right? For anything like being late or whatever that the speaker. So it was used in the context where she took her date to her parents to show them that her parents were not really nice to her as a child, and so they should cut her some slack when she's being nasty, which is, of course, a joke. So she said her parents undermined her, meaning her parents secretly weaken her credibility or status in the eyes of her partners by acting differently than what she described, right? She would tell her dates that they are awful people, but then they would be cool, chill people, right? But also, when someone says that their parents undermine them, it means that so that those parents weakened your confidence, authority, or sense of self, not through direct attack, but through consistent, subtle criticism, doubt, or lack of support. So, one-man conga line. She talks about her dad having this one-man conga line. You might ask me, what does it mean, one-man conga line? So let me explain to you. Conga is this drum, comes from Cuba, right? When people used to play in the 1930s and 40s. So this is conga. Conga line forms when people stand one behind another, each person placing their hands on the shoulders or waists, so they form a literal line. So it's like maybe a fun dance and so it's a group energy, right? So you have dancing, drums. So one-man conga line means they are partying alone, dancing with no one else. They are enthusiastic. It looks ridiculous, but confident, right? It's a metaphor for self-contained joy or silliness. Like this guy is just full of himself, one man conga line. Instead of having a whole crowd, this man is all by himself, is the crowd. You understand? Topping off drinks, refilling drinks. So guys, I didn't know this word, but now you know. Topping off drinks, refilling drinks, usually alcoholic beverages, often excessively, but not limited to alcoholic, like topping off. So she says her father acts as a one-man conga line, topping off drinks. So he's, serving the date, giving them, like, filling their cup all the time, while saying progressive things that she has never heard him say. Also, we can use let's top off. So let's top this cake off with a cherry, right? Top this cake off with a cherry. Let's finish it off with a cherry on top. Sounds similar. Buckle up. So you may intuitively understand what it means, but literally it means to fasten your seatbelt. It's also widely used metaphorically to mean get ready, right? Something intense or serious about to happen. Get ready, or just do your seatbelt. Fasten the seatbelt of your car. So to make you remember this word, let me explain to you the context. So she describes her boyfriend's reaction or action after leaving Taylor's parents' house. While Taylor is muttering about how her parents are lizard people, her boyfriend simply buckles up and states that he thought her parents were awesome. Smug. So this is the face, having or showing an excessive sense of self-satisfaction or superiority. Smug. So she explains disdain, dislike, for the smugness of those who have never been on a dating app. She also uses the term to describe her parents who appear smug later, asking if the date really seemed to like us. So they faked their personality. The date could not uncover their true essence. And now they are smiling like this little guy, so full of themselves. Next, guys, is very important thing. March Madness. March Madness is basically a nickname for NCAA, Men's and Women's College Basketball Tournament, which happens every March. So NCAA is a National Collegiate Athletic Association. It's the main organization that governs college sports in the United States. So NCAA organizes national championships like March Madness for basketball, sets rules for college teams, oversees scholarship eligibility and fairness in college athletes. So you need to understand what it means, guys, because the next joke is going to be important, so you'll get what she meant. Brackets. Kind of do brackets. So in March Madness, people fill out brackets prediction. Charts of showing which basketball teams will advance as they face off. So they guess, right? This one is going to win, this one is going to lose. You start with many teams each round. Losers are eliminated until one winner remains. That chart is called tournament bracket. Remember, tournament bracket. So she said she wanted to know if she is her therapist's favorite client. And so she said she would have to do brackets, elimination. So she would have to get all of her clients and just eliminate. Basically, she and other clients would just call her and see who she picks, like whose phone she picks. So to do brackets is to organize a contest or elimination process using a tournament structure, like a bracket. So this is part of Taylor's plan to determine if she is her therapist's favorite client. The plan involves stage face-off between two suicidal clients, with the winner advancing to the challenge, the next set of clients, in a March sadness situation where they just kind of do brackets. So she didn't say March Madness, she said March Sadness situation. She flipped it from March Madness to March Sadness, a reference to the NCAA March Madness basketball tournament used here to describe an emotional process of elimination. I already explained what March Madness is. You understand. In my sleepy sleeps is a childish or affectionate term for being asleep. Someone was ugly in the middle school. It's very easy to understand, but what she means here is it's a judgmental and dismissive remark about a person's childhood appearance, used here to infer their current need for external validation or attention, right? So she said, someone was ugly in middle school is a quick, witty way to explain why a person now has certain traits like humility, insecurity, or an overachiever mentality. Electrocutes is basically to shock, right? So it means to injure or kill someone with an electric shock. Electrocute. It's like execute. Glee covers refers to songs that were performed or recorded by the cast of TV show Glee. And in general, it's become shorthand for cheerful, theatrical remakes of popular songs. Glee was hugely popular in American music comedy TV series from 2009 till 2015. So context. So she basically thought she swallowed an AirPod and she was worried that Glee covers would play inside of her body because she couldn't find the other AirPod as she woke up. So Glee covers. Britney Spears back in the days. I've seen this Glee, like I'm familiar with the name Glee, but now that I explained it to you, I also got to understand what it is. Some of them are bangers. So bangers, guys, mean something that is like songs that are exceptionally good. A banger is a really good song, something that hits hard, energizes you, or it sounds amazing. It can also describe any piece of content, movie, joke, or video, it doesn't have to be song, that is exceptionally good, but it started in the music slang. My bones feel itchy. A bizarre physical description used to articulate deep internal anxiety when the cause of distress is unknown. It's this eerie feeling. You can say gut feeling. Something that you sense very negative, but you don't know the reason. So Taylor proposes opening, so let me explain to you the context. She proposes opening a new facility called Anxiety Room because emergency rooms, right, when people, like in the US, you have emergency rooms, but there is no anxiety room. So she proposes people open or get anxiety rooms next door to emergency rooms. She was not sure if she swallowed an earpod, and so she says, for when a person feels like the bad is in me somewhere, the form at the AR would say, I know that it is probably fine, but my bones feel itchy. So remember that, guys. It's a very interesting idiom, if you will. List lavender mist. Referencing to the advice of using lavender scented spray for relaxation and sleep, because she couldn't sleep, or she can't, or she feel jaded. Jaded, guys, is when you feel bored, tired, or cynical after experiencing too much of something. Like you can't no more. Imagine you eat bananas for, okay, not bananas. Let's say, imagine you eat chocolate for 7 days straight. You can't eat it no more. It just doesn't go into your stomach. You feel jaded. Like you feel like you are about to vomit. Like you can't take it no more. That's what means, that's what meant by the word jaded. Are you trying to get left? So are you trying to get left means, are you trying to be abandoned, deliberately trying to be dumped or abandoned by their partner? So when people are acting crazy or stupid, if you will. Prequel. A prequel is a story that precedes and often provides context for a main story. So for example, if you don't understand why some things happen in a movie, you ask yourself or the friend, is there a prequel to this movie? Is that a story that precedes and provides more context so I get the idea? It was a fortune cookie. So fortune cookie, guys, I didn't know what it was, and I had to Google it, right? So fortune cookie is that crisp cookie you get in Chinese restaurants in the US. It has a little slip of paper inside with a short fortune or wise saying. So the context, after realizing the quote came from Harry Potter prequel, Taylor sarcastically suggested to her therapist that the quote must have come from a fortune cookie instead of a serious philosopher. Fortune cookie, guys. You can use it in your daily language. Gen Z. Gen Z is a generation born roughly between mid 1990s and early 2010s. Gen Z. Queer. Queer is queer is often used as an umbrella term for anyone who isn't strictly identifies normally as male or female. Anything in between, beyond, or above. So she notes that all three of her younger siblings are queer, and she's the only straight person that is dating, basically, in a traditional sense. Little vial of sand. So this is a vial, and this is a sand. Touche is a word of acknowledgement that an opponent in an argument has made a clever or successful point, meaning that you're right, I agree with you, or you got it, makes sense, touche. So it's like saying you were right without going into details of being like, oh, I guess I was wrong. No, because like without defending yourself, you just say touche or touche. It's like, yeah, you made a good point, touche. Like, I will concede, I will shut up and agree with you. MVP, most valuable player. Skip a stone on a lake. So this is what you call it, guys. It's not throwing a stone on a lake. You say skip a stone on a lake when you throw the stone, right? So it's a delicate or focused action, throwing a flat stone across body of water to make it bounce repeatedly. Skip a stone on a lake. Have you been successful skipping a stone on a lake? Let me know in the comments below. Clarinet, a woodwind instrument. So basically, she said that in her childhood, she was warned not to play with a clarinet because she would face consequences like going to hell or something like that. And so this is just an instrument for your information. Under my belt is a classic idiom that means you have clearly experienced, achieved, or completed something, and now it's part of your skill or history. Under my belt. So she uses this phrase in reference to her skills with the clarinet. She notes that the clarinet is not her passion, but she has the respect of her peers and many years of experience under my belt. Under my belt. It's like, karate, whatever. Or you can think of it, to remember it, you can think of it as a military belt that has a lot of equipments underneath it. So you can say, I have a lot of experience under my belt, stuff like that. Broken record, guys, broken record is a beautiful idiom. Means that someone keeps repeating the same thing over and over, just like an old vinyl record that is stuck in a loop. When people repeat the same shit over and over. And so she says she knows that she sounds like a broken record and she should shut up about it when discussing subjects of religious trauma, but she continues to realize new things about it every year. Broken record. So it's like her passion. You repeat yourself speaking about the same topic over and over again. Many grew up sheltered, guys. It's a very interesting and new expression to me. So many grew up sheltered means a lot of people raised protected from real world problems, dangers, or diverse experiences. Basically, that's what it means. But in the context, even if people grew up not in a religious family, she says that many of them were sheltered. And she confirms this by asking the audience for a round of applause regarding who did or did not receive sex talk as a child. When they were 9, when they were 10, did their parents talk to them about it? Did their parents educate them or no? Lorelei Gilmore, just for your information, it's a famous actress. I think you know her, just so you know. Tubes tied, referring to a tubal ligation, a surgical procedures for permanent sterilization in women, guys. Please don't do it. I just included this for educational purposes. I know that I don't want to gatekeep anything. Be pro-life, please. Music ban. if you ever watch her comedy show. So it's about a con artist, Harold Hill, who travels from town to town, pretending to be a music professor, selling instruments and uniform for kids, bands, but he doesn't actually know music. He plans to scam the town, but ends up falling in love and transforming. Broadway. So in the definition is a famous Broadway musical. What does it mean? Broadway. Broadway is the most prestigious theater district in New York. Broadway. This is what it means. Famous Broadway musical. You have to be very deliberate in with every word, guys, that you learn and that you understand. Next, Judy Blume is a very controversial persona. A well-known author, particularly of young adult books that often tackle sensitive or coming-of-age topics. So she mentioned Judy Blume when she asked her audience if they received any sexual education as a child. Taylor claims that she learned what sex was by reading about it in a book when she was 10 years old, stating she was assaulted by Judy Blume quite frankly. Quadruple stuffed Oreos. You can use this expression, guys. Basically, it means it's an excessive version of the already stuffed cookie used to denote something that is overly redundant or excessive, right? If people come to your party wearing red colors, very gaudy, very too much red, right? So you can say that's a quadruple stuffed Oreo in the context. So the context for you to remember, guys, Taylor asked relationship advice from two couples in the front row who were also couples therapists. So she compared having two couples who were also couples therapists to having quadruple stuffed to Oreos, calling it a hat on a hat and excessive. So when something is excessive, you can call it like that. That is a hat on a hat. That is a hat on a hat. One compliment was enough. Two or three is just, like too much. One set of footprints in the sand. One set of footprints in the sand. A reference from the famous Christian poem Footprints, where seeing only one set of footprints implies God carried the person. Here Taylor reverses the meaning. Context. Taylor says when you become single after a long relationship, you realize the issues are still there, and there is only one set of footprints in the sand, and no one is carrying your ass. So she was so sarcastic about it. She's petty in a relationship. It's a very beautiful word, guys. Petty. If you have ever been annoyed by excessively neat people who are nitpicking and just always hold you accountable and question you, waiting for you to write a report to whether why is your sink not clean yet, or why is your house in a little mess, why haven't you done the vacuuming yet, why is the table in a big mess, or whatever. So those are petty people. So she is petty in a relationship means she focuses on small trivial things and holds grudges instead of letting them go, especially in romantic situations, right? I came to conclusion, or I came to know, or I came to realize when people are petty, maids, right? Maybe their profession is to clean professionally. Maybe their profession is to look after hotel rooms, right? And so this is their superpower, and they are just misusing their passion. They are not, so they're basically, so they have not uncovered that passion yet, or they have not realized that this pettiness can be used to make money elsewhere. So Taylor realized she's very petty in relationships because she only wears perfume when she's dating someone. Whatever. So petty is concerned with things that are small, insignificant, especially in a way that is childish or spiteful. It describes people who make drama out of little things to seek revenge for small slights. Compartmentalizing, guys. It's a very interesting term. You can take notes. So compartmentalizing means dividing one's thoughts and emotions into separate mental categories, often used to separate private life from work. So she said in the context of her comedy show, she basically mentioned when she has an emotion, When something bad happens, she instantly feels mad. She can't wait. Like her emotions cannot be like, can you feel me now? Can you feel me in 2 hours? Right? She said she can't do it. Her emotions demand to be felt instantly. So she can't do it. And she was wondering, how can people compartmentalize? But this is, I think, a personality trait that intuitive thinkers or those who are led by logic can do that. She's not led by logic, she's led by feelings. So that's why she thinks it that way. Shuffle up. So shuffle is this dance. You can Google it, you can see it, but shuffle up can mean to move your feet slightly or come closer. All right, team, shuffle up. Informal to like move closer together. Shuffle up. And so in this example, she said like her emotions shuffle up, tug, right? Tug on their sleeve, tug on her sleeve and say, "Can I be felt?" Shuffle up, tug on the sleeve. She has colic. She has colic is a phrase used for babies, and it means she cries a lot because of the stomach pain or digestive discomfort. Colic is a condition in infants where they cry for hours every day, often at the same time, are hard to soothe, and seem to have stomach cramps or gas. Wake up drunk on train tracks, meaning a hyperbolic, excessive reference to past reckless behavior and youth. Taylor complains that her friend, who is now married and has kids, became condescending, meaning very smug, like very, you see others below you, you could be mean to them or undermine them. So she knows that the same girls who used to wake up drunk on train tracks are now telling her that her lifestyle is unhealthy. Wake up on train tracks. To wake up on train tracks literally means, as you can see in this picture, but in our situation, it's just generally, it's just an extreme example of recklessness, chaos, or self-destruction. And it's not about trains. It's about how out of control a situation or a person has become, right? So drunk, whatever. Bike rack. So this is a bike rack, a metal structure used to park and lock bicycles. Bike rack. Whether it's in a bus, in a car, in the street, bike rack. And so she said that her friend was snorting coke on a rusty bike rack. It's a hyperbolic reference to past drug use, specifically snorting cocaine off an unsanitary surface. The context, continuing the discussion about her judgmental married friends, Taylor states that she has seen them snort coke off a rusty bike rack and implies they should not be judgmental now. Crunch time means the intense final period before a deadline when pressure is highest and everything needs to get done fast. So she says that her generation relied on the idea that they would have it all by their 30s. And now as she's like 29 or 27, she thinks like, I've got to get myself together. Crunch time. It's like enough playing, like enough bullshitting myself, enough wasting time, and time to just keep building. Per se. So when people say per se, not this per se, they mean not exactly this thing itself. For example, I'm not angry at you per se, just disappointed, right? So she notes that the tension and comparing among friends, pity and envy is not healthy per se, but she believes focusing on gratitude is important. Called off an engagement. To call something off is to cancel it. To cancel or terminate marriage, engagement, or an upcoming wedding. She called off the engagement a few weeks ago. Sleepover. She says that if her friend's man died, a little part of her would be like, sleepover. The joke underscores the jealousy or nostalgia for a relationship that is exclusive only to two friends. Sleepover usually means kids or teenagers spending the night at a friend's house. Number one. Number two, among adults, the same word can be used playfully, euphemistically, to imply staying overnight for a romantic encounter. Sleepover. It's just like, you're staying there to sleep over the night. Y'all shut the bed on this one. Shut the bed is basically you shit on the bed. It's a slang expression meaning you really messed up badly. This is a blunt and informal phrase. You utterly failed. That's what it means. Or you delivered extreme disappointing performance. She was disappointed at their response. She asked them for a weird sleeping tip. She said she said it was really hard for her to fall asleep, and she was asking for a weird sleeping tip. And the audience kept giving her mundane advices like sleep on a firm mattress, do whatever. So she said, "Y'all shut the bed on this one." Vicks on your back. So Vicks, it's refers to the application of Vicks Vapor Rub, a mentholated topical ointment to one's back, often used as a home. This refers to the application of Vicks Vapor Rub, a mentholated topical ointment to one's back, often used as a home remedy for congestion or cold symptoms. Vicks. It has also like a maybe strong smell. Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman is a celebrity she mentioned. Probably has a crush on. Since I was not able to upload full comedy shows with my commentary, as you watch the comedy, I would pause and explain because it gets copyrighted. So who is this for? Who is my channel for? Who is my community for? So it is for English teachers and English enthusiasts, those who want to master American English. I'm on this quest and I'm on this journey to master American English, and I want to help you master it with me. The exact working up-to-date American English. What I do, guys, is I created a custom GPT that I use, and I can give it to you for free. You will remember 60% of all the words you type there because I have used science and programmed this custom GPT so that it gives you associative mnemonics, engages your memory, gives you examples, creates a bookmark in your head so that you remember the word, divides it into syllables, guys. So to remember stuff, you have to be creative with association. So you may not necessarily enjoy repeating stuff too much. What it also gives you is it gives you examples. It gives you 7 examples, and it can correct you, basically. You get to study with me. I study every day. You can either spectate how I do it if you don't have your set of words, or if you have your set of words, you can join the link, but, see me on the verge of your screen, but also just study words with the same custom GPT that I would be using on the live. And you get to watch full commentary. So I upload stand-up comedies with full commentary. You get to watch the video. I pause, explain stuff. You continue watching. I assume your English is advanced if you understand me and if you can understand comedy, but you may lack the knowledge or understanding of expressions, idioms, insider knowledge, like, tradition, culture, etc. And not only that, guys, I'm preparing 2 more stuff. One of them is your assistant, Lena, Master American Slang. So she is going to send you words every 3 hours. So here, guys, I explained the terms that I thought might be useful for you and terms or phrases and slang that was new to me. But AI analyzed this whole comedy show and extracted all advanced vocabulary, all advanced slang, all phrasal verbs, even more than what I did in this video. And I have taken this whole information and condensed it into Google Sheets. And I feed this AI agent constantly with new information, new words. So what she does is she's going to send you new vocabulary, American up-to-date slang, every 3 hours. If you don't understand a word, she will define it for you and give you 5 examples until you understand, until you get it. And this is a passive way to learn American words. And this is a passive way to master your English. You don't have to actively study if you don't have the time. Many people are busy, and I know that. So this is the best passive way for you to learn it in Telegram. So it's a small Telegram group where me and my students receive daily passive words from Lena with explanations and examples if you don't understand the initial definition. It's a really, guys, hands-free, the most passive way you can learn words. So I have taken care of you guys. I made sure that I get you up-to-date American slang, jargon, all that you need in the palm of your hand. Thank you so much. My name is Kamal, and I will see you soon.